Today I learned about Constantine, the Roman emperor, and his story.
According to Eusebius's writings, it's here at the Milvian Bridge, north of Rome, that Constantine had a vision of the cross and a dream about
I
Jesus.
was watching the documentary on YouTube about the history of the world, and when it got to the point where they started talking about Constantine, I hadn't yet fallen asleep. and I heard them say that Constantine had a vision of a cross in the sky, which I immediately, perked up. This statement piqued my interest and curiosity because I had a vision of a cross in the sky, and I'm like, yo. So now I have a historic figure to reference, and I have a similar experience to talk about.
When Constantine tells this story, he emphasizes, first of all, the vision of a cross in the sky at noontime. Secondly, he then had a dream in which Jesus Christ himself appeared and explained the vision to him.
Almost like he's a prophet. He has visions, he has dreams. Jesus speaks to him.
Precisely.
So the thing that's different, or the thing that's similar, is this vision of a cross in the sky. I took a picture of it, so I have a picture. I have photographic footage. I have evidence of what I saw, and part of this documentary, they go into, well, what did Constantine really believe, and did he really see this vision? So when they start talking like that, I'm pretty much off it. I'm like, man, whatever, dude. Like, I know from my personal experience, after seeing a cross in the sky, and then learning that this ancient leader had the same experience or a similar experience, I know that um there are experiences that can't be explained, that we actually have.
Let me break it down like this. If I were ever abducted by aliens and I told some people and the whole entire world didn't believe me because quote unquote aliens don't exist, I don't care what kind of expert you put in my face. I don't care what you read. I don't care who you talk to. Can't nobody convince me that I didn't experience what I experienced. And I will go to the grave believing that that was a real thing.
I mean, and the idea that it's God speaking to us, and all of this rationalization that comes with it. I mean, I think it's real. In the documentary, they were suggesting maybe he didn't see anything, maybe it was a lie, maybe he was just putting forth this to convince other people. When you have an experience like I did, I don't think someone who had a similar experience was lying, because I know I'm not lying. Anyway, the thing that I want to share about this is, um I have my evidence, the story. It's just a fascinating coincidence. It's just a fascinating coincidence. Like, yo, this is crazy. I'm just trying to understand, or trying to figure out why I had this experience. And now I'm learning that an ancient historic leader had a similar experience, right? Oh, I remember. I wanted to make sure that I said this. In the experience that I had, I was in a part of the desert where airplanes don't usually fly overhead, specifically at a low altitude, because at the altitude that I saw those lines, They weren't extremely high and far away. The airplanes that I saw flying overhead flew at about 38,000 feet, not at a low altitude. I said all of that to say airplanes could not have made those lines. That's why I said that. I searched for explanations. I searched to understand, what happened, but the result of that is airplanes didn't create those lines. So if those lines were so perpendicular, so perfectly made, um, that leads me to the other question. Like, okay, let's say the airplanes did make those lines. That would mean one airplane traveled in that path while the other airplane traveled in that path. And they had to do it within a short amount of time in order for those two lines to have been created and for me to have seen them, because even after an airplane will create those lines, call them chemtrails, call them contrails, call them whatever, um, vapor trails, those lines will dissipate because of the natural, air, the natural current of air. It's going to change what is in the sky. It's like the ocean. The ocean never sits still. Same thing in the sky. Air never sits still. It's moving constantly. So I saw something in the desert. I saw something in the desert. And then, just as Constantine said he had a dream whereby in that dream Jesus spoke to him and explained the vision to him, I tell you, when I was in that desert, when I looked up and I saw what I saw, I felt as if I had a moment, an epiphany. I understood what had happened. I felt as if I had downloaded the file. It was a few seconds there. It was like I saw it. I saw the lines. I understood. I understood a few things. I understood why, number one, why we had lost Nipsey Hussle 1 week prior. And I understood why I saw the number 109 on that truck that cut me off the same day that Nipsey Hussle was murdered. Or rather, to be very technical, within a few hours of me waking up, learning of Nipsey Hussle's fate, and me driving to work, that truck cut me off and I saw the license plate and it read 109. And the fact that that happened and those two events coincided, Nipsey Hussle's demise and me seeing 109, those two things together, taken together, well, that I understood why those two things coincided, why those two coincidences coincided. Because when I saw those lines in the sky, that download happened and it was like the epiphany occurred. Oh, I understand. And so those were three things that I haven't forgotten. Those three details. It was the demise of Nipsey Hussle. It was the sighting of 10 and 9 on that car. And then it was the sighting of the cross in the sky. Those three elements that I remembered from my travels to the desert of Oman. And then the weirdest thing, the craziest part about all of this, I come back to Los Angeles. I'm driving down Crenshaw Boulevard and I see none other than 10 and 9 across, and not Nipsey Hussle, but Nipsey Hussle's mural. And they're all right next to each other. I'm like, how does that happen? Like, how does that happen halfway around the globe? And three things stick out in my mind. Three real things stick out in my mind. I get back to my hometown of Los Angeles, and those same three things that impressed me, that were seared into my memory halfway around the globe, are right there staring at me in the face in my hometown again. Like, pay attention. All right, Kobe, let them know.
You're at 109 right now.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it, no kidding. Breaking down a swish in front of your building. Sitting on the steps, feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold killing. You gotta keep the devil in his hole, nigga. But you know how it go, nigga. I'm front line every time it's on, nigga. 100 pro flow, running shoot pro. 458 drop, playing bulletproof soul. Every few shows, I just buy some new gold. Circle got smaller, everybody can't go. Downtown Diamond District, jewelers like yo. Hustle, holla at me, I got Cubans on the low. Through the Cancun, smoking Cubans on the boat. Then dock that Tulum just to smoke. Look, listening to music at the Mayan ruins. True devotion on the bluest ocean. Cruising, my cultural influence, even revolution. I'm integrated vertically, y'all niggas blew it.